Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Robot Wars Reborn Cup Season 1. Today we are on Heat C, which features some very destructive robots, a lot of horizontal spinners, and some very powerful flippers. And we cannot wait to find out the next two bots to compose a Heat final. I am Terrorhurtz, welcome everybody. And to get right into the Heat's competitors, let's go to Desperango to find out who fights who. Thank you, Robot. As you can see, I'm wearing orange today because I'm feeling a little more bright. Mainly because we've made it through Heat B, and I didn't think I was going to. But we're here, we're now at Heat C, and it's a more normal heat where, you got bots that are powerhouses that can go far in this tournament. You got bots that are probably going to exit the first round, and then some dark horses. You don't really know what's going to happen with them. But I can't wait to find out. So let's go take a look at the 8 bots in this heat and start making our predictions and seeing who wins the fights. I tell you what, there's a lot to be excited about in this heat with some very impressive weapons, especially Supernovas. He's one of the fan favorites to win this competition. But what's also exciting is some of the new builds we've never seen before. Wheelie Big Cheese, Gravity, 13 Black, and Terahertz. 3 of them fan builds, never seen them, and we're going to get to see what they can do in this competition. We'll get to some of those later, but first up, it's 2 bots that appeared together in episode 19 of Robot Wars Reborn, Supernova and S3.
From Wellington in Surrey, Supernova.
This robot turned a lot of heads in his Robot Wars Reborn appearance, going unbeaten, recording. He's got some pace, he's got a good weapon, he's got invertibility, but he's also got exposed wheels. Will that cost him in fights?
From Dunisthorpe, Swaddlingcote, Leicestershire, S3.
An exciting looking bot in real life, but S3 hasn't been perfectly captured in Robot Arena 2 yet. Exposed wheels, exposed weapon motor, not sure about the invertibility. This is a recipe for disaster.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So the first fight in Heat C is underway with the 2 bots that appeared in the same episode, and Supernova on the attack already, trying to catch S3 off guard. And is that smoke already coming out of S3? It looks like it is. It's the weapon motor. So Supernova's already caused damage. S3 already caught off guard. He's a bit of an awkward bot. You don't know how you want to attack him, but Supernova apparently has figured it out. Pushing S3 back a little bit. Trying to figure out what he's going to do. The pit release has been activated. I didn't think S3 was close enough to hit that. Someone's apparently trigger happy. Supernova moving in. He's got a wheel now of S3, and that could be the end. S3 in major peril now, as Supernova looks to finish this very quickly. Well, he was attacking, and then he stopped moving. What happened to Supernova here? Oh, and he's been Fusrodot into the wall. Scary scenes there as the game apparently can't handle what Supernova is doing! Neither can S3! And Supernova has advanced. S3 unable to cope with Supernova's pace and power, and he goes crashing out of this competition. Next up, a battle of the flippers and 2 new builds. It's Wheelie Big Cheese versus Gravity.
From Langport in Somerset, Wheelie Big Cheese.
Wheelie Big Cheese recreation sent in by Thomas Burke was almost forgotten, but remembered just in time for the start of this competition. Very powerful flipper, horribly exposed wheels, and the shape of the bot makes it difficult to get under opponents.
From Leeuwarden in Holland, Gravity.
Once slow, skinny, and kind of suggy, Gravity's been fully rebuilt. He's a lot wider, he's got more speed, he's got a better flipper. How will these new changes fare?
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Flipper v flipper battles are always exciting. It's usually, if you get more flips, you win the fight. Wheelie Big Cheese with the first miss, and then Gravity taking advantage of the opportunity to flip Wheelie Big Cheese up and over. But also self-riding is no problem with flippers. Wheelie Big Cheese with a nice maneuver there to get under Gravity. He was close to the arena wall. It could have been an outside of the arena flip, maybe on another day. Both bots very similar in the builds.
perhaps really big cheese with those wheels a little more exposed. It might be more of a target. There's another flip for gravity, very well done. And somebody hit the pit release. Really big cheese has flipped gravity, who is now upended. And can he self-right? Really big cheese wants the outside of the arena flip. Instead, riding gravity back on his wheels, and we go again. Already an entertaining, even fight. Wheelie Big Cheese toppled again. Gravity trying to get him out of the arena. And he's upended him against the wall. This is a very awkward spot. Wheelie Big Cheese goes for the flip, still pinned. Gravity trying to get him out. He can't. Wheelie Big Cheese needs to get out of that corner, and he does. That could have been the end of the fight right there. But Wheelie Big Cheese survived. It must be a very odd thing fighting a bot so similar, trying to figure out what strategy would work, knowing that if you expose the strategy, it's also going to work on you. Somebody else might take note of that, scouting in the audience. Another flip from gravity, and I think he's starting to take the lead. Wheelie Big Cheese trying to flip himself back. He can run inverted, but they prefer to have normal controls rather than the inverted. He pushes gravity into the wall. This fight has gone by quickly, and we've got only 50 seconds left of it. And I'm not sure who is winning. I think gravity has the edge in flips. Both bots have been pretty equally aggressive and stylish. Well, if gravity could get a few more flips than you think, he might be able to seal this. Wheelie Big Cheese might badly need the points. Wheelie Big Cheese cornered again. Gravity getting in behind him, but couldn't get the flip he needed. 20 seconds now remaining as both bots do a little do-si-do in the corner. Gravity flipped nicely by Wheelie Big Cheese. And now getting shoved towards a bit of oblivion and in! And Wheelie Big Cheese has done it with less than 10 seconds! He's stolen the results! What a turnaround! Gravity will not be happy. I'm pretty sure they had that result won until that last maneuver by Wheelie Big Cheese. He's stolen the result, and he will go into the second round. Thank you for coming, Gravity. Condolences, but you're out. And when we return, we'll find out the other two robots to advance to the second round of Heat C. Don't go anywhere. Ah! Oh my god! No! Oh! Oh shit! No! What? Welcome back to Robot Wars Reborn Cup. We're in the middle of Heat C, where we've already seen S3 and Gravity fall out of the competition. And there's still plenty of action to go before we find out who is in our Heat C final. So let's go to the next fight, King Buxton versus 13 Black.
From Essex, King Buxton.
King Buxton fought okay against some of the AIs in this game. It's a whole nother story when fighting other recreates, and I don't think he's got the weaponry that can handle some of these bots.
From Hinckley in Leicestershire, 13 Black.
Doesn't feel like a truly completed heat unless Doodle's got a bot in it. 13 Black with two good weapons, hard to hit, hard to lift, hard to control.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Tell you what, I do not rate King Buxton's chances in this fight. I really do worry for him. But we'll see what he can do against the new 13 Black, the second ever unbeaten robot in recording. Replaced by Doodle's new build. King Buxton immediately going for the pit release. He must not have liked those first exchanges, but how is he going to be able to get the heavy 13 Black over there? A lot heavier than him. I don't even know if those spikes are able to reach the underside of 13 Black's blades, which poses a huge problem for King Buxton, because what is he going to be able to do? He can't really cause 13 Black any problems, can he? He seems already short of ideas. He's got to lure 13 Black surely to one of the hazards. Well, he's had 2 wheels ripped off in a matter of a second. And any hope he had of winning this fight has just crumbled in front of our very eyes. Incredible stuff from 13 Black. He was favored going into this fight, and he's caused significant damage. King Buxton is stunned. And now with only 2 wheels to carry him around the box, he is in major, major trouble. And there comes the smoke. Don't think that 13 Black will let up anytime soon. Oh, and 13 Black flipped by the floor flipper, thrown into the wall on the entire other side of the arena. Perhaps he was trying to get flipped out and end his misery. I think 13 Black will finish it for him soon. Yes, he will!
Cease.
And it's 13 Black who's through. There's a handful of bots in this year's competition that probably could have used a rebuild before we did this tournament, and King Buxton is one of them. He was never going to be able to win this competition, and he goes out in the first round. 13 Black, you're through, and we've got one more spot to give away in the next round. Who's going to get it, Tough as Nails or Terahertz? Let's find out.
From Holland, Tough as Nails.
Not the most accurate build that Doodle has ever done, but Tough as Nails is very fast, so it kind of makes up for the lack of the good weaponry and the vulnerable chassis.
From Oxford in Oxfordshire, Terrorhurtz.
To finish second in BattleBots Reborn Cup, now Terrorhurtz wants to go one step further than his brother with Threaded Lake's new recreation, which looks incredible. We question the speed of that axe firing.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Time to see what this new Terrorhurtz is made of. He's already up against it as Tough as Nails with a good first drive to get him near the wall. Maybe you see the real advantage that Tough as Nails has. The weaponry isn't the most accurate on this recreation of Doodles, but boy is it fast, and sometimes speed is enough to cause opponents problems. Tough as Nails trying to move in for a bite. Terrorhurtz very slow with the axe there. And Tough as Nails hitting the pit release button. He seems confident enough he can shove Terrorhurtz into the pit. I don't even know if Terrorhurtz is able to get the axe to fire down on that awkwardly shaped body. Well, there's a good shot, so maybe he can. It just doesn't help how slow the weapon is. Tough as Nails with the drive, and Terrorhurtz, he's going into the pit. It's over in less than a minute, and Tough as Nails wins. Well, it's not always a bad thing going out early. At least Terrorhurtz will get to learn from their mistakes and learn what they need to improve before next season. But for now, they're out, and Tough as Nails grabs the last spot in the second round of Heat C. And those fights will be happening as we figure out the Heat C final when we return.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Heat C in the Robot Wars Reborn Cup. We know our 4 second round bots, but we don't know the Heat final yet. And it could be a very interesting couple of fights. To find out who will go to the Heat final in episode 6, we go to Barangoat for the second round fights. Thanks again, Barangoat, and here I am again for the next round of Heat C. We got a little bit of surprises so far in that first round. We saw that Terrorhurtz went down to Tough as Nails, but quite frankly, I must suck at predictions because I said Gravity was going to be the Heat winner and he's already out. So don't listen to anything I ever say probably for the rest of this tournament because I really don't know what I'm talking about. And that's why for these fights, I'm not going to say who I think is going to win, because quite frankly, I'm not sure. Got some good matchups though, for sure. Supernova versus We the Big Cheese could go either way with 2 very different weapons, as well as against 13 Black and Tough as Nails.
either way, I don't know. We better just get down to the fighting before I make myself look stupid.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
This could be a really good even match, and I can't wait to see how it goes. Supernova knows he's got to be careful for Wheelie Big Cheese, because that's a very powerful flipper. And there's a very nice flip there from Wheelie Big Cheese, showing what he can do. Easily exploiting that high ground clearance in the front of Supernova. Gotta think as long as he keeps those wheels away from the disc, he'll be okay. Will he be able to get an outside the arena flip? Supernova pinned against the wall, but he's got some good shots on Wheelie Big Cheese, and he's got one of the Wheelie Big Wheels. And Wheelie Big Cheese is in trouble after such a bright start. He opened up just once, but that was enough. And now the task has grown ever more difficult for the Cheese. It's a heroic performance from the superhero that is Supernova. He just has to avoid the mistakes. He's got to be smart. He can get the other wheel probably pretty easily. And that's such a shame for Wheelie Big Cheese. He had a couple nice flips early on. And there goes the other wheel. Sure enough, Supernova's got it. And he's also got a spot in the Heat C final. And now the Wheelie Big Carcass is his to toy with which however he pleases. And it looks like its first trip is to the drop zone, where the fall will be... What is that? Excuse me, I don't really even know what that is, but whatever it is, it's about to hop out of the arena, or at least into the CPZ. Meanwhile, back to the bots. The Wheelie Big Cheese will probably visit the Pit of Oblivion next. And sure enough, Supernova drags him over, and now heads to the pit release to finish off the fight and book his place into the final.
Cease.
14 flippers in this competition, but they keep falling out very quick. Wheelie Big Cheese is down now, and it's Supernova who takes his place in the Heat C final. And now he'll await his opponent. It'll either be 13 Black or Tough as Nails. Why don't we get down to the arena to see who it is?
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
This to face Supernova in the final of the Heat. Tough as Nails with the speed. 13 Black with the weapons. This will be fun to see, and already Tough as Nails with some quick attacks, and it looks like he's taken off a small piece of 13 Black there, part of the frame on the bottom outside. He knows he's got to get a lot of pace on these rams. He knows he's got to go directly at those blades and try and lop them off. He's hit the pit, so that's also a strategy available to him. 13 Black seems content with letting Tough as Nails make the aggressive maneuvers. He's trusting the strength in his two weapons and the fact that he's got one in reserve there. Bots a little bit struggling with controls. Oh, and look at Tough as Nails! Ripping off one of 13 Black's weapons! What a shot that was! Now the bad news is that he's only halfway there. He needs to do that again. And he's taking a lot of body damage, and I don't think it's gonna hold up. 13 Black is already close, but he's suffered some major damage in the process. Tough as Nails lining one up. Oh, and he's been knocked out! And 13 Black has survived! What a fight that was. I wish it lasted a little bit longer. Congratulations to 13 Black and condolences to Tough as Nails. You fought very bravely, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. And so our Heat C final is set. Supernova will take on 13 Black in episode 6 for the right to go to the grand final, while the other will wait for a wild card. But we'll revisit these two later because we've got another Heat next time, so we'll see you then.
It's been another great show from the 8 competitors that fought this evening, and it'll be Supernova and 13 Black, a horizontal spinner going to the grand final, perhaps 2 if one has done enough to get the wild card when they lose the Heat final. And we'll find that out in a couple weeks' time, but until then, I'm the Barangoat in the stairwell. and see you for Heat D next week.